Welcome to another episode of URC Chumps podcast. I have my fellow enemy, Jacques, this week, and Dara. Let's start off with Dara. How are you doing, bud?
I'm not the enemy for once, so that's a good start for me. The
It's
two of
because you
them
don't
are
know
going to
what
knock
team.
shades out.
The
The
problem is you
Stormers
don't
are
know what
playing the
team you
Sharks. The
support.
two of them are going to knock shades out of each other, and I'm just happy up here with my Munster. So
Okay, on my screen,
well,
you're at the bottom.
I'm just okay.
That's got two meanings.
But yeah, I saw right up here. The weather's terrible because it's Limerick. It always is. But yeah, nothing really to report.
All right, and you, my enemy. You know the saying: keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. So my closest person right now, Jacques, how are you doing?
I'm gonna keep quiet for now. Let's wait after the match. So I think we should talk next week about it. But other than that, no
Next week will
fresh
be fun.
issues. Yeah, next week's gonna be fun. You're right.
Next week's
But
episode is just
otherwise,
me again.
no,
What
of
did I
course
do?
not.
What did I do?
Uh,
I'm not scared, bro. I'm not scared at all.
the reason I'm not making big things, but I'm just like, okay, cool. Either I'm gonna be so high amped or I'm gonna be so depressed.
Either
But
or.
yes, but before we carry on with what's happening next week and everything let's first start off with the week that's passed. Starting off with the rugby. We had an
Oh no, I thought we were going to
excellent
start
game.
off with cricket. Thanks for that.
I
I didn't know
thought
we
I
were.
thought we are gonna start with soccer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What
still
the? We're
starting off with
talking
the
about
rugby.
cricket. What the hell's happening in Durban?
Why would we start a bit with the rugby? Like, come on, what do you think this is? Rugby?
Yeah, but
Channel? Come on.
Let's
seriously,
not
Spurs
keep
are playing
quiet.
tonight at 8 o'clock. Let's just start with that.
Who?
Formula One.
The
Max
mighty
Verstappen
Spurs.
won. Yes. No, Max won. There we go. That's all that matters. Max is world champion 4 times in a row.
Where have I heard four world champions before?
Let's stick to
Um,
rugby and leave the rest alone. All right, rugby is the best. Shut your faces.
4 times World Cup winner. Sorry, I had to put that in as a Springbok fan. But anyway,
of
France
course you
versus
did.
Argentina. Who, to be honest, Argentina started off well, but just kind of lost the plot a bit at the end.
In discipline. It's
Yeah,
so frustrating to watch Argentina when they're indisciplined because it was stupid. Now, Montoya's yellow is a ridiculous decision in itself. It's not a crock roll at all. He doesn't land on him. Don't see how that's a yellow card, but that's not an excuse to just go and implode when he's back on. The Gonzalez yellow is incredibly stupid. And I've seen people arguing it. He slaps the ball pretty much on his try line. He goes out near the 5 meter line. He slapped it forwards and slapped it out of BABRA's hands, and it stopped the try. And the worst thing is, Argentina in the second half were decent. Like they did mount a comeback. Second half, Argentina is probably one of the best teams in World Rugby right now. If they can get the first half. But again, it was ridiculous amount of penalties, two yellow cards. Just giving away stupid technical fouls the whole time, not rolling away, offside. It's just that stupid stuff. And I'll get onto it later when I talk about Fiji because it was the same stuff. Just stupid stuff. It gets France a load of points. You can't do it against France when they've got Tamaramos who can kick a penalty from anywhere inside the opposition half over the bar. So look, Argentina weren't that bad. They were okay. They attacked. They had some nice moves. They scored one or two nice tries. I thought Albornoz again. That guy's a hell of a player. Like I think he's playing for Benetton again this weekend. He's a gem. But it's just too ill disciplined. France were good. I thought Ramos and Biabire again were quite good. I thought Dupont was okay. I don't know. He was again not his usual standard. I thought Bertrand, the Argentinian scrum half, done a fine job on him. But it just shows how scary France are because they left out a hell of a lot of household names and still
The
be incredibly good side.
the thing is with France, what I've noticed is you kind of need to face the onslaught that comes in the beginning. If you can hold that off, you're going to be in either for a good game or you're going to dominate the game. So I mean, it all depends on what happens in the game, which is really how you have to watch how the game goes. And I
But yeah,
think,
Kirby at home, France feed off the atmosphere, and the atmosphere is especially at the start again after the anthems. France feed off that, and I think a lot of teams like we stopped it during the Six Nations, and Italy stopped it during the Six Nations, but a lot of the southern it was kind of the opposite against New Zealand, where it was said the second half that France came out and hit them like a truck. But it was the
yeah,
first half of this game where France just fed off the atmosphere, fed off the vibes, and hit Argentina like a truck. But it's it's easier said than done to stop it because France are so good that it's so hard to stop.
it's probably just how you handle like a BMT on the day. Like you said, that French crowd literally jeers them up. It's almost like you're playing against them, and you need to kind of ride the wave in a sense. But at the same time, you need to be able to push back. And if you aren't pushing back the right way, you're going to lose it. And I think Argentina maybe came up just a little bit too hyped that caused the things to the silly penalties to be given away, and maybe freaking out like with that whole penalty try scenario. But now that we probably know, the rest of the world listening, ride the waves, keep the pressure on. Oh, sorry, that's a South African thing because we have waves that we can surf.
We do too. I go surfing pretty regularly. I'm just terrible at
it. Yeah, okay. I can't stand for shit right now.
Yeah, so I'm just bad at it. So that's a completely separate issue, isn't
it? Yeah, no, we're not talking about surfing because Jacques doesn't know how.
Surprisingly, because we're talking about everything on
here. the surf para surf guy is a South African, so well done to him. But anyway, then we had Ireland versus Fiji. A bit of a controversial call in the middle.
I don't know why I'm tapping on the Georgia jersey on.
No longer. This guy keeps changing.
No,
you change your underwear.
We won. So that's. Well, I wouldn't change after a win. You know me now, Kirby. Come on. The game itself, we were okay. I was quite disappointed with Fiji. I thought Fiji were miles off it. The refs, don't I talk about refs? The ref gave Fiji nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm watching this as an Irishman, and I saw countless penalties we should have given away. Especially the main one I saw, a lot of people say was, well, two. First of all, a scrum penalty that we got. Fiji were throwing us back and back and back. And was it, who said under this head? Tom O'Toole hinged his hips in, which should have been a penalty to Fiji, but she gave a penalty to Ireland because she said that Fiji were wheeling it. But O'Toole's hips popped inwards. So then, obviously, it gives the impression that the prop on the opposite him is kind of coming around. And Prendergast should have been sent off. It was a red card. I've watched it back. There's not a lot of force, but he looks at the player. I forget who it is. He looks at, turns away, stands towards him, and hits him in the head with a shoulder. It's a red card. It's meant to be. The laws are meant to be. There's no mitigation applied if the action's always illegal, and it's always illegal because he's upright. He stood across when again. He doesn't need to. Stockdale's already made the tackle. There's no arms involved. He just hits him with his shoulder and turns away. It is a red card.
Okay, so sorry. Stockdale played. They scored 50 points. You see, Jacques, we were right.
and he's injured for this weekend as well. So
that's fine. But he played, and you guys got 50 points. That might be a bit controversial.
Played one. He still got 1-1.
Yes, see, we even said in the beginning he needs to play.
But yeah, I
But if
thought like I think really if Prendergast is sent off, it's a different game, and the Mick Byrne, Fijian coach, even comes out and says that after the game. I completely agree with him. It is a red, and that does change the complexion of the game. But Fiji can blame that as well, but they can blame their own, like Argentina. Just so many stupid penalties. It was actually like the yellow card for the second row, and even if I saw his name right now, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it, so I'm not going to. He scores a try, which is a great try, by the way, because you always love to see a big man outpacing backs. It's brilliant to see. Then he jumps over a rock 5 meters out and gives away a yellow card. That's it's so Fiji. I don't want to say it is, but it is. It is so Fiji to do, and it's stupid, and it just again gives Ireland back the initiative, and we score a try straight after. So there's no like because the ball was in the scrum half's hands as well. It's not like the ball came out of the ruck. So yeah, it's just so stupid, and it's so hard to watch. But then Fiji, to their credit, when they had the yellow, they scored a beautiful try. Caleb Muntz beat 4 or 5 players and then passed it on. They scored. I like Muntz. I think Muntz is a great player. He's a great talent, and he's what Fiji have lacked for years, which is a top 10. Like they've had such great teams, but they've never had a world class. And I think Caleb Muntz can be that for them. And it's about time the Islanders started stealing Kiwis back, because the Kiwis have only done it to them for 40 years. So it's about time a bit of revenge of the Sith. They take some back. But yeah, I'm happy, but I think the opposition were poor. I think that, as more said, I thought the ref was quite poor. But we'll take it. It's a good win. Fiji can be a banana skin. They beat Wales and Cardiff there only 2 weeks ago. They're not a handy win anymore. So look, you take it when you beat them, really.
But I mean, okay, we don't want to hop on it too long, but do you honestly think Hollie Davidson, Davids, is actually up to the task of a game like this?
no,
I do like. I think a lot of the time I do quite like her. I just thought she was awful on Saturday, and I thought like Mike Adamson on TMO, who I have a lot of disagreements with. Some would argue he is a homer. He gives everything to the home team, and as TMO, he gave us a very big decision. So look, I think maybe she is for URC's international, a small bit of a stand up. Maybe, like she's lucky she's only really ref one-sided contests, but I don't know if I'd want her in a France South Africa game where there could be 5 points in us at the end of the match.
if you go
Yeah.
if you go back at the game that she refed South Africa and Portugal here in South Africa in Bloemfontein, you can see that firstly her fitness is not up to standard, which means she gets to the ruck late. She doesn't see the first infringement. Now you ref somebody like Ireland against Fiji. Fiji is way more physical and more physical than Portugal. So now for her to keep up with that, they're more aggressive. It's more up in your face type of aggression, if I can put it like that.
And Fiji move the ball so quickly as well, it's hard to keep up.
And just as a
100%.
disclaimer, we are not saying women are bad refs. We
Not
are
at
just
all.
No.
Not
we
at
are
all.
kind of going
in
to
the U.
as a level.
I will say this in the URC. I think she's a great ref. I'm also saying, and the URC's got some quite decent refs. I think she's a very good URC ref. I just don't know if she's up to internationals.
Did Uncle Fester release a video?
Yes,
On that?
I'm sure he did.
I must look
I'll
for
just go
that.
have a look as well. The thing about a ref is the games, the higher you ref up, it actually gets easier, a bit quicker, but it does get easier. But your margin for error is it goes down. It's much smaller than a club game or a URC game, for instance.
It can all be about experience as well, Jock, as you're sure, because I remember Ben O'Keefe talked about Wayne Barnes, who refereed the '07 quarterfinals between France and New Zealand, And he said, "Did you know about the forward pass to Jusson that France scored?" He did say he was waiting all game for that mistake, but Wayne Barnes had one of the best games of his entire career that night, bar the forward pass. So it can all be about experience as well. And, it can always just be little moments of what you've been there, you've refed it before, and you know what to do.
It's 100%. And whether you have a good game or a great game, or you have an average or pathetic game, every game that you ref is an opportunity to get better, because you know now where to focus on. You know how to look at the teams in a different way, what structure they're playing, what game plan they might have. Then it'll help you as a ref to know, all right, I'm going up against Munster and Bulls, for example. I know how the Munster guys play, so this is my approach when they're attacking. This is how the Bulls play. This is my approach in attacking. So your preparation also plays a big role when it gets to it. And I don't think she was fully mentally prepared for what's coming. And that was the small little silly mistakes that was made. But yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to stay, like we said, we don't like to harp on the refs too much, because they already get so much grief, especially in the stadiums and on social media. Romania versus Uruguay was 21-23. That was a very close game. I didn't watch it. It wasn't available for me. Yeah. The big elephant of the week.
Just wait. Didn't both of you guys say that Uruguay is going to lose?
I can't remember. I must go check my
You'll have to email my lawyer.
Sorry. You said Uruguay is going to win. I said Romania is going to win. Sorry, it's my bad.
No, it's fine.
I've got it.
But listen, it was a close game. So, I mean, that would have been a fun game to actually be at and watch, because, I mean, it was 2 points in the end. But, I mean, the big elephants in the room, the one that we're still waiting on the result for, whether or not someone's been fired, is Wales versus Springboks.
I wonder who won this game. I wonder who won this game.
I am going to say this, and I'm going to probably regret this one day, because you guys are probably going to quote me on this. Hendricks had an okay game. He looked
my God. Oh my.
Both of them looked decent in the game.
Jacques, are you hearing this? Are you hearing this, Jacques? Or is it just me?
I am hearing it. I can't believe it. But I am going to disagree, because that number 9 Hendricks, no.
That's what I said. He had a decent game. It wasn't perfect. It was a lot better when Reinach came on. The ball was flowing. I do believe the Hendrickses mustn't pair up together, because I saw it was a lot more flowing with Reinach and Jordan than Jaden and Jordan.
Yeah.
The terrible twin duo. You love to see it. Jordan and Jaden Hendricks. The boys, the lads. Better than back to the Springboks times of keeping bang average from halves in the squad. Back to the Elton J times. Now we've got Hendricks. There's going to be another one. I don't know why but it's very funny to watch. And I love to see it. Now,
but my next thing is
the best. Yeah.
My thing is, was it because they were playing against a team that was down?
Yes.
I know. The best part of this game was even Esteve got bullied, and you love to see it, by a tier 2 nation. Little old Wales.
I don't know why that caught your mind. What about how he caught up with Kurtley Arendse when he scored that try? How he kept up with him?
Don't remember that, mate.
Yes,
I think that was try number 2.
Yes,
but now What
I
did
don't
I say
remember that.
last week? What did I say last week? It's going to take someone that's going to light a fire under the Wales butts. And I think they found that person. Both of them. You saw how he was trying to cheer up the team through the whole game, no matter what the score was.
James Botham and Jack Morgan. I think Jack Morgan, what did he make? Did he make nearly 30 tackles? He made
Yes.
something in and around 30 tackles.
65 minutes or sitting at 28 or something like that. I mean, that's like
so
Peter Steph numbers.
He made 30 tackles, and James Botham wasn't far behind him. I think James Botham made 24 tackles. The two of them could be, like, out of the Wales players who could go to the Lions store, Jack Morgan should be there if he's not injured. James Botham, for my mind, should be there. And
but my thing is, Botham should become the next captain because he was that guy that was busy jeering his team up. Like you saw them, they were walking around with their heads down. And he was like, come on, boys. Like if there was a penalty that they won, you would have thought they had just won the Six Nations Grand Slam or the World Cup. And I think that is what they need more of, is someone like that to push them up.
But he's not just a cheerleader as well. He actually does stuff on the pitch. We've often seen rugby players who are essentially fans who celebrate everything but don't actually do anything. Luke Cowan-Dickey. But James Botham does actually do a lot for them on the pitch, and I think he's a good player, and he's played well in all three tests this year. So yeah, I think he's certainly, if he went on the Lions tour, I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it, because himself, and as I said, Jack Morgan, I thought Dewi Lake had a pretty good game as well. Those three are pretty much single-handedly keeping Wales in games. Now, I nearly forgot about Blair Murray as well. That hold up on Afaleli Fassi, he tackled, names are slipping my mind. Was it Dialande or was it Creel? He tackled one of those and they offloaded it to Fassi, and then Murray got up and still held him up. It was incredible. So for a guy who's so young, and it was his first ever start at full back ever in a professional game. He done quite well.
Listen,
but the Springboks were just too good.
Like I said, playing against the Springboks for your debut game could destroy you. However, I am going to say those youngsters did put up their hand. Unfortunately, experience overcame on the day. I did see a bit of, how can I say, training room moves from South Africa, or training ground moves. The fact that Pollard, for the first time for the Springboks, has played at inside center. I think it's the first time. I could be wrong.
No. He's played inside center for the Boks before.
But I mean, since the World Cup, the first time he played inside center, definitely. He came on instead of taking off Hendricks, which is obviously giving Hendricks like full game experience. But yeah.
That is also
what I will say about
that's also it's a major boost for Jordan to know, all right, I've done my part. He didn't kick bad. Even when you can do whatever you want, even with Pollard coming onto the field, they still kept Jordan Hendricks kicking.
But how was that Kirk kick?
Oh, brilliant.
that almost
Dan
reminded
Carter
me of Dan Carter's style.
Dan Carter. Yeah. That's before your time,
left to right, not right to left.
Dora, that was before your time, don't worry.
Everything's before my time, man. Trust me, it's fine.
No, seriously, go look up Dan Carter kicking masterclass and go look. Well, otherwise, you know what? I'll try to find it out.
I know. You think I've never seen that now. Come on. I'm young,
so you have seen it. Stupid. Yeah, no, flip. No, that was one hell of a kick and stuff. And, I mean, Hendricks almost copied it.
Just on the other side.
The achievement of his career. He done something Dan Carter did.
I think if anybody can emulate Dan Carter once in their career, they're like, yes!
And he did more than Manila Book has done ever for the Box.
Just a round of applause for Jordan Hendrickson. What
Hey,
a
listen,
cameo.
nothing's ever going to top that no-look cross kick to Curtly Aronson.
I don't know. I'd say getting hooked off after 30 minutes in a World Cup semi-final kind of, it kind of evens it out, doesn't
No,
it? Like, when you think about it.
that was conditions.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure
I'm
it was.
sure it was.
Because Pollard had such a bad game in the conditions, or did it go from lashing rain to big bright sun and rainbows and everybody dancing on trees as soon
No,
as Pollard came on the
listen.
pitch?
Okay, in all due respect, the wind was a bit crappy in that day, and with Marnie's type of kicking, it wasn't working. If you look at Marnie, wasn't actually getting distance.
Kirby,
Why are you making excuses for your
It's
fly-off?
windy for
I'm not
both
making.
teams, mate.
It's your fly off as well in that regards.
It's windy for both teams. What do you mean? It was windy out.
No, but yeah,
Can
okay,
we
cool.
move?
Anyway,
Can we
Was it just
leave Monty
raining?
and
Was
move
it
on?
just raining over one half of the pitch as well?
maybe I don't know. But anyway, Italy versus New Zealand. No, it wasn't a
Vamos
20-all draw.
Italia.
So I don't know why you're getting excited.
Hail
Oh,
Italy.
no draw. Well, that's a shocker.
There was a close one, close to a draw. Who was it? Uruguay and Romania.
Yeah, 21-23.
We're taking close to a draw now as a draw. Okay.
And wait. And Spain USA was also close to a draw, 23-26.
Yeah, USA nicked it.
Scotland A beat Chile, 19-17. So there's close draws, close ones.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Just get Chile on the telly a bit more often, and then we'll get one.
You're literally gonna see Jacques like rip off his shirt one day when it's like it's a draw off.
Finally.
If there's ever
if it's a 20-all draw, you're
the two jerseys of the two teams that draw.
Will you buy it for me? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, not at home. No, I won't.
Yeah.
I'm broke.
Yeah. I'm gonna say.
I mean,
leave it for me, please. I need to go first. I need to get this off my chest. This was by far the best rugby match I've seen the entire autumn season. Not that New Zealand was bad, but Italy was brilliant. Besides,
what a try they scored, by the way. Menoncello scored a brilliant try.
100%. That was the only mistake that I found, was that the last try that the All Blacks scored. It was a stupid thing to try to go quickly, chip it over there. Okay, missed tackle. It was ridiculous. It was stupid from Italy. But other than that, that was the best 80 minutes of rugby that I've seen this entire autumn season. It was fantastic. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest.
But here comes my next thing. Scott Barrett, another yellow card. And he's your captain.
Was it a yellow?
New Zealand, to be honest, like, compared to usual, I know this is New Zealand side in transition. New Zealand look more kind of scared on the faces of their players and more on the ropes against Italy in Turin than in Dublin, which is, you can take that as you will. It's probably concerning from an Ireland point, but New Zealand genuinely did have kind of like a, what do we do here? They're really going at us look for a while. They did
it wasn't
have that
emotions.
kind of bit. Well, I thought Italy put everything out into the pitch. You cannot blame a single Italian. They left themselves out there. But I think, you had a full stadium. The crowd were really into it. And look, it's only good for Italy to read the top teams. They had a poor performance against Ireland this year. They could have beat England in Rome. They drew with France. They beat Scotland. And now they've really, really pushed New Zealand. They're only getting better, and it's better for everyone involved. It's better for the Six Nations.
URC. But I mean, was it maybe also your whole thing? They didn't look like they would turn on. Was it maybe just the emotions, knowing that it's TJ's and Kane's last game?
But you can't make that get to you either. You know what I mean? As professionals, maybe that could get to TJ and Sam Kane, but that shouldn't get to the rest of the squad. I think Italy just really done a great job at making New Zealand play poorly. And I think they've given kind of other teams a bit of a footprint who are better in quality than Italy, trying to say that as less offensively as possible. But if someone like Ireland or, Argentina or Australia could implement that, they could really do damage on the All Blacks. Because Italy just didn't let them play.
Yeah.
Because if you have a look at the possession, it's 57-43. Which just shows you the courage that Italy showed against a very, very packed All Black side. That was
They didn't
not
go
like
weak at all. Like, it was a strong All Black side.
that was probably one of the best All Black teams that they could have picked.
I think they were trying to beat the World Cup score.
It is 100%. But like Dora said, when the anthems played, you could see the emotion on the Italians, and you can see that they are ready for this. And like I said, the best 80 minutes of this entire autumn season.
But I mean, moving on, the Grand Slam came to an end.
Oh, flower of Scotland.
Did your girlfriend teach you that?
No comment. I actually know the entire national anthem of Scotland now. So that's like that as you will.
I remember singing in '95 for a school concert.
Scott, of course you were. Of course you were. They were planning to nick you, and then they realized you're terrible at rugby. So like they found even better players back in Scotland rather than picking their usual South African. I'm sure they're ringing Jacques.
Yet they were here.
Export. Not looking for you, Matt. Unfortunately.
95 World
Maybe
Cup.
some of your classmates.
Actually, my wife went to school with one guy that played in Namibia.
Shame.
We're on about Scotland, not Namibia, mate.
Yeah, Conrad Murray.
Played against.
I think Scotland were really impressive. I thought I was quite disappointed with Australia. Australia just didn't get the ball, really. And when they got the ball, they were clearing it. They didn't get any possession, any territory. You could see Tuipulotu had a real thing because he was lipping and mouthing at every single Australian that walked within a 10-meter radius of him. So that could be interesting if Tuipulotu starts in centres and the Lions against Ikitau and Swalihi. But
is Swalihi going to be playing? Because we don't know the extent of the break yet.
True as well, but I think that Australia were poor enough. They just, as I said, they just couldn't get the ball. And when they got the ball, they were playing it inside their 22 own half. They were playing in the wrong areas of the pitch. They lost the kicking battle. Russell Kinghorn done a real job on them in the kicking.
Kinghorn, my word, he is an awesome player. I think he is completely and utterly underrated. I think Toulon got an absolute steal with him. Is it Toulon or Toulouse? I think it's Toulouse. Sorry. I do apologize about that. I think they got an absolute steal with getting him to play. Swalihi, okay, you break your hand and then you still want to go try to take on Tuipulotu. Like, come on, bro. Like, seriously? You're still young.
But still, it's good mentality to have, not to, back down ever, I suppose.
I think he probably watched one of, not one, but the final of the World Cup 95 with Andre Hubert playing with a broken hand.
He wasn't even alive back then, Jack.
I see Dora's gone back over to that side since.
Sorry, I'm getting text messages here. But
Is
no,
it
like
from the
some of us
girlfriend?
weren't.
I was
No,
about to ask, is it the
no,
girlfriend that knows
no.
where something is not? She can feel the tension.
No, it's not. Trust me. If she knew what I was saying about Scotland, yeah, there'd be angrier messages. Um, but yeah, I did think I was quite impressed with Scotland. That's what Scotland do, isn't it? They play extremely well against everyone but Ireland. And I'm not complaining really because it's 2017 since we last lost to them. We played them in seven Six Nations and two World Cups since then, and we've beaten them each and every time. Uh, but I thought, as I said, Australia just couldn't get the ball, and having Swalihi go off was a massive kind of coup because then they were shuffling the pack. They put a winger in his centre, and yeah, they were okay. They done well defensively. It was nice seeing Harry Potter score his first try, and the thousands and thousands of magical wizard jokes that came with it was a bit less entertaining. But yeah, it's a good win for Scotland.
Yeah. Then moving on, I don't know if we should hang on about this one. England versus Japan, 59-14.
Well, Japan is useless. England was good. End of story.
Freeman scored an absolute belter of a try. Or no, he didn't score it, but he's got an absolute belter of an assist. That's all I have to say. Eddie Jones being beaten, happy day for rugby.
Exactly.
Before we carry on with the controversial World Rugby decisions, next week is Ireland versus Australia.
How you did? I'm not going to go too much into depth about the 10 selection because, yeah, we're going to have some very strong words used, and I think we'll get kicked off every platform we're on. But our lineup is wrong. That's all I'll say. I think Australia can beat us. I mean, not if they play like they did at Murrayfield, but if they play a Twickenham or Cardiff-esque performance against us, I think they definitely can beat us. I'm not saying that trying to be like, oh, they can beat us, but we'll still win. They really, really, really can beat us, and there's areas they can target. And Schmidt has the kind of advantage of knowing half the players in that squad and knowing the coach.
I mean, you guys aren't putting a weak side against them. So, I mean,
We're not putting a weak side, but we picked the wrong 10. Kirby, and that's a huge part of your game is picking the right 10.
no, I
Who's the 10?
agreed.
Prendergast.
Prendergast. Sam.
You can't pick a guy to play a top tier nation when he's had one game of experience against the very poor Fiji.
Yeah, you got Crowley on the
Maybe,
bench.
wait, maybe he's that one exception, and
Maybe,
he
but
plays
I
a good
didn't.
game.
I didn't like.
I just,
I'm trying to be unbiased because of the Leinster Munster thing, but I didn't see a lot in that Fiji performance to say he's been better than Crowley.
I just got a message here from one of my friends, and he just said to me, "Ireland by 16."
I can't disagree with that. I mean, I kind of see it. Right now, besides that whipping that they got against
16,
Argentina,
16. I don't know. I don't know about 16 points.
So let me just say his name. His name is Mario Stander, big rugby supporter. Also, he's a Sharks man, but he believes Senatla. He needs
yeah.
to be in the Springboks tonight. He believes that he's the best rugby player of all time. I just have to put it out there.
If you had said that to me, if you had said that to me 2 years ago, I would agree with it. Right now, no.
But what I will say about Australia's lost Argentina's lot has came out. According to people now, I don't know if this is just an excuse or not, but according to a lot of that, apparently a lot of that Australia camp came down with something during that week, which to my mind would make sense considering after the half time they were gassed. All of them were gassed. It wasn't one or two; it was the whole side. So, and how many tries did they give up? Did they give up 7 tries in the second half, or which is mad. I've heard a lot of rumors. Apparently, they were dying sick, half of them, and they still have to play. So I don't know. Maybe a bit of the
Oh,
old Durban seafood got them, but RG style.
whoa! But I see, like EE is actually playing. I thought he
Yes,
broke his wrist.
I can believe it. I thought like originally they said HIA, and then they went, no, it's not HIA. He's gone off permanently, and now they're saying he broke his hand, and now he's playing. So either the guy has just got, a hand made of titanium, he just doesn't care about his own safety, or I don't know.
Gonna play with it bandaged up, and then as soon as he gets back to Australia, get it cut open. Yeah,
But now I
but
think it's time for the
funny
big
enough,
one, the URC,
no,
the only
but
thing that
before we move
matters.
on, you brought this up, Dara, that you find it very annoying that people go and they watch TikToks and make TikToks while they support him. I just got a
Yeah,
flood of those on my FYP, and the one was this one lady from Wales, busy like eye goggling Tom Wright, like say, "Oh, that's my future husband," kind of thing, and all that kind of stuff on her TikToks. And I'm like, but this, and then I saw someone else comment on it going, but this is why Wales isn't doing that great, because they're not even bringing in the crowds and anything like that, because all these people worry about their phone rather than what's happening on the field.
yeah.
Anyway,
Don't get me started about people who go to rugby matches to sit on their phone. No.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm. But anyway, URC is back.
We're
Do we
back,
want to talk about it?
baby!
Do we really want to talk about it?
We do,
As,
we
Yes.
do. Trust me, we do.
at least we're not the Ospreys. Sorry, Black Feather.
It could be worse. You could be the Stormers right now with their fixture list, and yeah.
Says you, who's like 2 points ahead of us.
Are we ahead of you?
I think so. Just double check now. Logs.
Sharks, come on! What do you care about everything else?
Oh,
And just
I
just a
lied.
little, just wait. A little useless information before we go into all this. We know that Stephen Kitsoff, his rugby career is over, right?
No,
Yeah,
not officially. No, not officially.
Not
He
yet.
he
yeah,
even
but
said it. He said right now, do not trust any other source of information unless it comes from him directly. He will release more. He just had surgery on his neck.
Yeah, on his
Uh,
neck. Yeah.
yeah. Now it depends on how his recovery is. So right now, Stephen, if you ever
yeah.
watch this, speedy recovery, please, man. You are a absolute
I
icon.
hope he's okay. But looking at the kind of photos, I'd be absolutely astonished if that guy plays top tier rugby again. Even
No,
I'm not talking about spring. I can't see, like, all due respect to the guy, I can't see him playing for the Box again. But even URC level, I'd really worry because that looks horrendous. That looks really bad. Like you can see the thing running down. Like if you haven't seen the images, make sure you've kind of got a strong stomach because they're gruesome enough. But yeah, it does look bad. It's bad,
But I hope he
bad.
gets well soon.
I
yeah.
hope he gets well
So
soon. He's ahead of us
the
there.
the official statement made from Stephen Kitchoff himself is: do not believe anything that you have heard on the news as of today, unless it comes from him himself. We shall only probably know next year sometime whether or not he is done or if he's going to carry on. Hopefully, he pulls a Skulkberger out of the hat, where
Let's
Skulkberger
hope
was
so.
literally told he was going to die in a week. And within a year later, he came back, and he came back as an absolute unit.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that year he came back. He actually won Player of the Year as well.
Yeah,
World
something
Rugby
along
Player of
those
the Year.
lines. Yeah, he
Yeah.
lost KGs as well, and he was a completely different player. But anyway, oh, by the way, yeah, you are 2 points ahead of us, but one position above us. Sharks, for some odd reason, jumped up to ninth.
Pity points. Pity points.
However, we do have a game in hand. So it is against the Bulls. But besides that.
We're gonna get smashed.
Moo. Moo.
I need to talk
Get
nicer
out the
things
way.
about Glasgow as
Please,
well.
I
Before
have to
this, I
say,
need to
please,
think well about
no,
Glasgow.
do not talk bad about the Bulls. Please, my girlfriend had a conversation with me before we came on.
Someone got whipped.
I just have to say it.
If you
And then,
are you talking about Bulls again?
who are the Bulls
it'll be
playing?
more like
Are they playing? Don't tell me it's Munster.
No, we're playing the Lions.
It's Connacht.
Who are
Who
they
they
playing?
Connacht.
Is it Leinster? Connacht.
It's Dara's other team. Well, is that your first team now, or your second? Why
Is
are
it
you
in
so
Galway?
excited about? Yeah. Anyway,
Is it in Galway? Or is it in
Yes.
Pretoria?
no, it's in Galway, Kirk Park. Anyway, Glasgow
They
versus
can't deal with the winds.
Scarlet. No, let's go into your girlfriend first. With Glasgow versus Scarlet.
Glasgow by 50. Glasgow by 50.
I don't think it's going to be that big because they don't have all their top players back.
At least 50.
20-all draw.
I'm going to
At
say
least
by
50.
10, but in Glasgow's favor.
At least 50, I swear. No, I think it'd be somewhat closer than 50. I'm just kind of looking around, making one last kind of check and all that.
Just check that gun. Where's that gun? Where's that gun?
Glasgow by 11.
Okay. Ulster versus Leinster. Now let's see, how does Dara react to this game?
This is now the thing.
Ulster.
And it is at Ulster's
Next.
house. So yeah.
Next. Ulster.
By how much?
Next.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go Leinster in this game.
It's at Ravenhill, I think. So Ulster by 10, because Leinster have a complete second string team out, and Ulster have pretty much all their first team.
That is actually a very good point because a lot of the guys are still actually international duty.
Leinster by 5.
They don't even have Achia in the team.
Yeah, but sure, he's only just back as well because he's been playing lots of games.
Okay,
so
I'm still gonna go Leinster because I think Leinster's gonna try to pull a rabbit out the hat. But this is also where we know where Leinster loses it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've also got the sevens. Which sevens is it? Is it the Gold Coast or Hong Kong?
No, it's Dubai.
Dubai.
Dubai Sevens.
Yeah, Dubai
Actually,
sevens.
I know 2 refs that's there.
Griffin.
No, AJ and Mornay. But there's also I know that Griffin is part of the other sevens that also goes around, but he's part of that panel. And then there's 2 Free State refs that's part of the invitational guys. That it's a tournament that runs parallel with the Dubai Sevens. Okay. Same stadium, just on the B field or something.
Yeah. All right. There we got the Sharks versus Stormers in the Shark Tank.
Back to the Goldfish, boys.
Sharks by 7.
We got Sasha back.
Sharks by 5.
Please say that again.
Sharks by 5.
Please.
It's recorded.
No, I don't get it. Sharks by 5. Sharks by 5. Yeah, I said it. I think you'll beat Stormers. I think you've got more quality.
Stormers
than
by
they
2. Just
wouldn't be devastated. Wouldn't be devastated if the Stormers won. Let's just say
Of
Yeah.
course not.
I'm
Of course
I'm
not.
putting that nicely. I've been jumping
Cardiff
around my
versus
sitting room.
Dragons.
Cardiff by 10. Cardiff by 10.
Yeah,
Cardiff.
I was about to say it's the
Cardiff.
Dragons. They're always near the bottom. Then Connacht is hosting the Bulls. I shall talk in a very nice way because of our Bulls followers.
I don't care.
that are
I don't care
listening.
what happens to him. Connacht by 10. Easy.
I will
Easy
also
3
say
points.
Connacht
Easy 5
is
points.
going to put the game. They do not have the likes of
Are they
Andiaki.
really, Kirby? Are they going to take this?
Yeah, Connacht's going
I
to win.
wonder who he says is going to win. Please give us your insightful thoughts.
My heart and soul, everything inside of me is going
like
Connacht.
He sounds like a politician.
Connacht all the way. But Lovey, the Bulls gaan verloor. The Bulls going to lose. I'm sorry. Connacht's going to win.
He's joined the dark side. Come on, Connacht.
Here's the thing. If the Bulls win, I think your girlfriend's going to force you to wear a Bulls jersey next weekend.
I'll never get forced to wear one of those ugly things.
I know. And if the Bulls win, I will wear the Bulls jersey on our next podcast.
Okay,
You poor soul.
I've got one for you.
I don't have a Bulls jersey here. Thank you. She's got it.
Watch as soon as she watches. Leafy, will I come here?
Yeah. Next week Wednesday, I'll get something in the post saying, "Oh, here's your delivery."
Ram, hand carried couriers.
Ah.
DHL. Courier guy. Then I don't know if this is even your team. You keep switching it up and down, left and right. Munster versus Lions.
The number one.
Lions.
Although for this weekend, I want Connacht to win just as much, just because no one likes the Bulls. I am going to say it very, very, very biasedly. Munster are going to win by 15.
Lions by 10.
I think the Lions are a good side, but I think we're due a big win. Munster by 15.
Where they playing?
Coleman Park.
Yeah. Up in
I'm going.
Ireland.
The Lions will actually finally complete my full set for the URC. They're the only URC team I've never seen live. I've seen every other one, rather than the Lions. The game 2 years ago. The game they played us down in Cork 2 years ago. I couldn't go to it. I was sick. This will be the full set. Yeah, I'm going this weekend. This will be the full set. I've seen all 16 teams in the URC, and I think I'll see. That'll be about my 34th live team watched. Live rugby team watched.
Damn, well done.
Yeah.
That's excluding international teams.
Then we got Zebra versus Ospreys.
Ospreys.
Didn't you say Zebra's gonna be his team soon?
I was asked, why did I get a phone call from Rodri saying, "Do you want to come on the podcast this week? We're playing Zebra." For clarification, I didn't actually get it from Rodri, but
we did say we did tell Rodri you should phone you for any Irish team because you keep switching left and right.
I saw it all, and I saw someone suggest me for Zebra. I wonder who that was.
I wonder who that was.
I wonder who that was. Jacques.
Me? No. Can't be.
It was Dutchy.
It was Mr. DeVitt.
I take the blame. I'm scared of nothing.
But then we got Edinburgh taking on Benetton in Edinburgh.
Benetton, because Edinburgh are beatable for everyone bars the Stormers, because the Stormers are pathetic.
That is actually a very good point. I did not think of.
There
Thank you.
immediately on his Super Brew, he changes his thing. Let's go Benetton. Not Edinburgh. Let's go Benetton. Thank you.
No, I'm actually going to go look at it, where Edinburgh is sitting. Okay, they're actually pretty spot on. They've both played 6. They've both won 2. Benetton's drawn 1 and lost 3.
One game, Jacques didn't predict them to draw.
And Edinburgh has lost 4, but with the bonus points, has got Edinburgh on 13, along with Edinburgh and Benetton both have 13 points.
They nearly got an extra point for beating you by so much.
But they have 1 more point than you.
We'll be ahead of one of them after this weekend.
Or not.
No, I think
we
we
could
will.
both be above. Or we could both be above them.
Yeah, let's not live and dream on you're not beating the Sharks.
At least we won't be where Zebras are. Actually, we could be.
That name is banned. That name is banned from this place and is never to be discussed again as a rugby team.
The Italian horse.
The only thing to come out of Parma is the cheese from now on.
Parmesan cheese. Have a ding dong day, Parmalat. That was an advert here in South Africa. Yeah, but that's that. Now we're going to put the laughs aside. Controversially, World Coach of the Year. I believe there was a payment made. I'm not just saying that.
Should have been Sir Clive Woodward. Should have been Clive Woodward.
It should have been Jock David. He's a fantastic coach.
Coach of what? Coach of what?
He coached. These boys did well.
Hey,
Coach is sitting down shouting at people on the TV. I think he'd win that one, to be fair.
When I was at Grey College, I think I had like an 87% win record for the year.
Well, you're not like Zane Olkers, who has 100%.
No, I didn't give it
Exactly.
At least I can say I don't have to lie about stats. In Colesburg, I had 100% win record. We played 2 games, won both of them, and then COVID hit.
I have a 0% win record because I'm barely old enough to manage under 5s. So
can you actually count under 5 results? Because that's more like, we are all winners. Here's your trophy for participating.
No, trust me, I'd never be good with that whole "we are all winners." I'd end up killing someone. So like that wouldn't go down well.
You all suck.
You're all terrible.
Yeah,
that's the best way of thinking. You're all bad until proven otherwise.
I mean, your point that you brought up before we started, Cressida, as
I think Caseda should be World Coach of the Year. Italy drew with France, had a kick to beat them, missed it. Beat a very good Scotland side in Rome.
Though that was also a controversial call right there, because France was actually moving forward.
France moved for the kick. They should have beat France. They beat the best Scotland team in years in Rome, and they beat Wales and Cardiff. Which, I mean, people say tier 2, but they were 20 points up against Wales and Cardiff. Then summer tour. They lost their first game to Samoa, where they played an experimental side. They absolutely battered Japan, and they beat Tonga, and they beat Fiji. More wins. Also in Six Nations, I forgot to say they lost to England by only 3 points. Then the autumn tour. Okay, the Argentina game, poor. Beat Georgia and got their closest ever result to the All Blacks, where they were only 11 points down in the 79th minute. That's an unbelievable year from Italy, to think of the team that lost by 70 points to New Zealand and by 60 points to France last year. They drew with France and they came within 18 of New Zealand. That's
But
not
from
including, yeah.
but what we know from news that came out with the whole panel, Nick Mallet apparently walked out because they were being very, how can I say, controversial in their decisions of who should be winner of the of the award, which does say for Nick Mallet to walk out does say speaks loudly than the action does, because that guy is pretty spot on when he comes with his whole talks and everything, and he's had some controversy thrown at him before, being called certain other things by ex-SA players. We shall not name that whole debacle. But the thing is, for Nick Mallet to walk out, and Nick Mallet speaks his mind, and he speaks his mind with truth. I mean, he called out Saru for ridiculous pricing of tickets for South Africans. He's not afraid to speak his mind, and when he speaks his mind, you need to listen to what he says, because he's not speaking his mind over nothing. He speaks his mind.
He's a very intelligent man when it gets to rugby. He knows his story, and I agree with him.
Whether or not it was because it should have been Niba or what you call it, and you need to go find your little Irish friend there and tell him to shut up. That one you keep saying that Peter Steff shouldn't be considered because he plays in a League One, what's called, he plays in Japan, which is a lower tier tournament. No, bro, like seriously, you obviously don't think beyond the money, because I mean, you got someone like Peter Steff playing in Japan, which I think is actually awesome for him, because he doesn't have such a hectic schedule. He is fresh enough when it comes to international games. He obviously he doesn't think of the bigger picture. He expects the guys to play straight from Jan all the way through to December. No, that's why you guys will never win another World Cup in the Northern Hemisphere. That's why Scott Robinson is now pushing. When it comes to the World Cup, because the problem is when it comes to the World Cup, you guys gas yourself.
I mean, at the same time, okay, we have that rule. England have that rule. Wales have that rule. Scotland's players can go and play wherever they want. France's players can go and play wherever they want. And Italy's players can go and play wherever they want. Those three nations, their players can play in Madagascar, and they can still play for their nations if they want to play there. Also,
but then,
quick side note about Madagascar, I saw a team line up for them. If they ever qualify for a World Cup, every commentator is going to quit. The least amount of letters in the last name I saw was about 20. So good luck to any commentator if they ever manage to qualify for a World Cup, because I tried to read two names and gave up.
So okay, but then here comes the New Zealand Rugby Union's thing. They're finding that they are being disrespected next year with the fact that France is coming with the C side against it, because all the top guys will be playing in the top 14 playoffs.
But at the same time, they're giving their players a break, aren't they? They're not forcing them to go down. They get 2 months off.
Yeah, but they're still playing.
The end of June and August.
They're still playing the.
No, they're still playing, but they don't. You take into account the top 14 final is the day of the second test, right? Then you're not including the fact of if they all went down to New Zealand, they'd have to play a third test, and then I think France are also playing someone like Fiji. They fly all the way back up north, and you're cutting down way on your holiday time. Every French player is guaranteed at least 2 months off next summer. Every single one. And that's if they play in the top 14 final. If you don't play in the top 14 final, you're guaranteed even more time off. Not saying I agree with it, because obviously New Zealand.
My point.
New Zealand need the money, but you're giving players time off at the same time so that, you're not getting these mad injuries. And what you talked about, gassing yourselves, they're not gassing themselves because they're giving players time off where they could be playing games, they're top players, but they're not playing games because they're just sitting on a beach in southern Spain, drinking a pina colada, watching third test.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If you were good enough and you had the option, would you play for your country or your club?
You sign a contract with your club that obliges you to play with your club whenever they ask you to. It doesn't
All
matter if
right.
you want to play for your country or not. And if the coach
And if
doesn't pick you, because Galtier just won't pick them.
and if you are contracted by your country, what then?
France don't do contracts. French rugby don't do contracts. Their clubs do contracts. If I could choose to either win a trophy or play for my club country in New Zealand, I would play for my country in New Zealand. French players are contracted to their clubs. Their union do not own the clubs in France like they do in Ireland. So their union cannot force the clubs to give up their players. And the clubs won't give up their players. So that's the end of the debate, really. In France.
But
because France has so much money in rugby, if you play for Toulouse, Toulouse pay your wages. Toulouse dictate if you play for your national team, not France. In Ireland, the IRFU dictate if you play for your club.
But you see, that's the point.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, but also at the same time, it proves the point because that is one of the most grueling tournaments in the world. Now, you got you guys playing there all the way. Even if you don't play in the top 14, the final, that's maybe 4 games that you miss out. And that's still a grueling 4 games going through. And this is why, New Zealand find it. The thing is, the players, it's very hard. I do understand when foreign national players go and play there and stuff like that. They do have a bit of issue. They're like, no, it's not the international window, so you can't go. Whereas with the international window, they're more likely to go, there you go and play.
But during the international window, like the rule is in Europe anyway, you're not allowed to stop your players from playing from their country if you do not have a game. So,
but here comes the thing. Here comes the thing now. International windows changing. You look at what's happening right now. There was games before the first 3 games that were being played now. You now got Australia versus Ireland, which is technically outside of the window. Again, the window's changing.
But the other thing is, with those 2 nations, they know they can do it. The IRFU run the Irish club sides, and they can just say, no, you're not having your players. And the Australian...
No, but now you see it works in your favour now.
But Australian Rugby Union is pretty similar. They can also tell their the clubs, because they have it. The Australian Rugby Union has a share in all Australian clubs, so they can also say, no, you're not having your players, we're playing them. Now, I know a couple of the Aussie players playing abroad had to persuade their clubs to keep them up. Like Will Skelton had to persuade Ronan O'Gara, apparently. He said he would not. Will Skelton apparently said he just wouldn't take his weeks for the week he played for Australia over La Rochelle. But in terms of these 2 countries, know they can play outside the window because Ireland can just tell the clubs, oh no, you can't have them, we need them. And Australia had something similar where they can just go, oh no, you don't get them, we have them. And as I said, Will Skelton, fair play to the man, said, I'm not taking my week's wages because I'm not playing for you optionally, I'm playing for Australia, which is fair enough.
Which means Australia would cover the cost. But yeah. Anyway, besides that, Peter Step the Toy deserved it.
Fair play.
To be honest, even though Etzebeth is an absolute unit and a machine, he wasn't World Player of the Year. I'm not saying he wasn't great.
Du Toit was your best player. Du Toit was your best player.
Du Toit was our best player. No, straightforward. I'm not arguing that point, but I'm saying even up in that thing for World Player of the Year, I don't think he was in that category. Ches and Colby was a very good decision up there. Kalen Doris, yeah.
At the end of the day, he did lead Ireland to a pretty successful year.
That's
I
why
think
I'm saying, yeah.
I think it is our first ever time winning a test away to the current world champions, if I'm not mistaken. Our first time in years, anyway.
Yeah.
Winning a test away to the current.
But I mean, yeah. Besides that, then I know there's been controversial calls about DuPont being World 7th Player of the Year, because people said
I don't know where they got that from. I don't know where they got that from. Where how DuPont made player 7th Player of the Year. I don't agree with that.
He could have been a breakthrough Player of the Year for 7s,
maybe
not 7th Player of the Year.
No.
Wallace Atiti, definitely. Well, breakthrough player. I mean, Sasha was in there, and I mean, like, as a South African, I would be like, yeah. But Wallace Atiti, definitely. I think the injury
deserved it,
yeah, I think the injury to Sasha hindered his chances, but also I think right now none of them are actually expecting to get awards like that, because it is in a different phase. I mean, South Africa used 51 players in the last calendar year. You played like another 15 players, and you got a full 3 teams. We could put 3 teams in the World Cup the way it's going.
And you have to include that you didn't take John Klein and Damien Willemse, who were 2 guys who would have been nailed on if they weren't injured. As much as Jacques doesn't like Willemse, it's true.
Damien Willemse must go steal golf clubs with Earl Rose in Wellington down in Cape Town. He's not worth the Springbok jersey. Let's not go into that again, please.
No.
He's better than Fussy.
No.
Thank you.
Anyway, moving on.
Where are you?
I said that on purpose.
I know you did. Just checking the kids' math homework and all that.
1 + 1 = 1, 0. And yes, it does in binary code.
I don't understand what's happening on this wall.
The sniper as well, Jacques. Am I the only one? Am I not the only one?
Oh,
I'm not. I'm not even going to look at it anymore, because it just confuses my brain.
Because it doesn't be one of those where you come for the king, you better not miss.
Doesn't make sense, dude.
Trust me,
I think next.
Yeah, but
okay,
let's forget about it.
Yeah, but I think next week we'll just cover the results of the 7s as well. We'll just throw in who won and what the standings look like. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a great rugby weekend. I might look even more dead than I do tonight, because I have got a whole bunch of stuff happening. And next week, this will be different as well, because No Shave November comes to an end.
No Shave November. I thought it was No Shave 2024 the way to do it.
I just want to show you something. I had a little bit of a haircut.
Yeah, the fight with the lawnmower. Or the weed eater, because it's trimmed on the side.
I still remember I have to do a mohawk, but I'll do that somewhere next year.
The Joe Marler. The Peter Rice. If you've never heard of him, look up Peter Rice. He's got some mohawk.
Okay. If the Sharks win next week, I'll come on with a mohawk to represent the Finn.
Deal.
You should do the Peter Rice. As I said, look him up. He's got the best mohawk of all time. And
I'm just going full on.
Here.
He's got a snake
tattoo here and then a mohawk here. It's like an extra foot to him.
The problem is I can't do that because I work in a corporate environment and they will not allow it. So I'll just gel my hair up in a full-on mohawk style.
Excuses.
I can bring up my contract.
Listen here, kiddie. One day when you grow up and you start working, you'll understand.
I have a job.
Listen, the bakery doesn't count.
talking corporate.
Corporate, whatever.
Anyway, guys,
You're
it's
the
been
people
great.
sitting up there on laptops telling me what to do.
Well, we are actually on laptops, hence why we have awesome screens, and you have to show where your bed is.
And
My
it's a
sleeping
bunk bed.
arrangement. Yeah, I know. And the worst thing is, I sleep in here by myself.
Sad.
Depressing.
Where does the girlfriend sleep? Anyway,
In her own house.
And if she comes and visit?
On the couch.
Top parenting.
that is
No,
a very
it's-
Catholic
it's-
answer.
She's not allowed to sleep in the house. If she would, I'd have to sleep on the couch and fall off 5 times, because that's what happened the last time I slept on the couch.
I have a sleeper couch, so it folds out, so it's fine. But I have a
Whoa.
wife, so it's cool.
Just when you
It's
are
like having a sleep. It's like having a sleepover with your best friend.
I
Jack,
wonder
take
what's...
what? We're not your best friends?
You too
My
far
girlfriend
away.
is my
He's-
best friend. My girlfriend is my
don't
best friend.
How's that going to work out for you? You moving up or she moving down one day?
Yes.
That's a very politician answer out of you.
We're
You're
still
moved to
working on it.
Lesotho.
We have the Irish general election tomorrow. So all I'm hearing is politician answers at the moment. So
It's fine.
Are you
so
allowed
going
to
move to
vote?
Lesotho.
no, not
Not
really.
18. Yeah, it's 18, bro.
Can't vote.
You can drink, but you can't vote.
Like, not legally. I'm not legally. Get me in prison for it. All I will say, what is legal and what I definitely do, trust me, just trust me, people, is I can drink in the confinements of my own home, and I have never drank outside my own home. Definitely. You people cannot prove it. You cannot prove that I've drank outside my house.
I'm going
We
to go
know that
look for the episode.
You can say what you want. You can say that you know everything, but you cannot prove it. So
You've admitted things. You've admitted things that can get you into trouble
it's on the internet.
everywhere.
it's not exactly a huge crime. There's probably not a single teenager in Ireland that hasn't done it. Bar me, of course. I would only ever drink inside my own house until I'm 18.
Don't you drink at church during communion? Holy wine?
No, that's probably the one place I don't drink, to be fair.
So I'm going to keep quiet. I'm just going to keep quiet right there.
Yeah,
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. I
Come
don't
on,
want to
Opa,
bring
come
all
on.
my... I'm not going to bring out all my things. I'm sober, clean, 5 years almost. So, let's keep through that.
And well done. That is a huge feat to do, especially in today's society and everything, and the way
And
we've
especially,
been bombarded.
especially how you remembered me.
Funny enough, I didn't actually hang around you when you were drinking. It was always before or after. So I think I did see
good
pictures
one.
somewhere of someone doing something at the Massey Club with Brendan Wainwright. And
Talking about the funnel,
yeah,
You remember that try I scored or you scored off the back?
it's probably me feeding it off to you.
Something. I remember that game. I think I refed the first team and I played for the third team.
Yeah.
And I was horribly punished afterwards by what's the guy's name?
Yes. I remember
What
that
was
game
his
now. And
yesterday,
the
what
opposition
was
team
it?
was not happy with that.
Not at all. Not at all.
They were like,
Massey lost.
wasn't-
Massey lost though, or something. I can't remember, but yeah, that I was punished horribly.
Yeah, you were punished because we lost, but the opposition was also not happy with the fact that you were playing in the first game before the first team game.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was that?
I'm sick, kind of. Well, not really, but I was sick like all week, so I'm back to full
man flu.
fitness now.
No, he came back from the dead. The man flu almost killed him.
No, trust me. Like the highest temperature it has been this week is 5 degrees Celsius. That's the
I
highest
just gave you
temperature
a
this week.
compliment. I gave you a compliment by saying you survived the man flu. It did not kill
I
you.
know, I know. I'm
And you
proud.
want to come
I'm
make
proud of myself.
excuses for it. Your man card's going
I'm
to get
proud of
revoked
myself.
before you even get it.
I'm proud of myself.
But anyway, guys.
We wait until this recording ends.
Anyway, guys. Before I kick off Dara, before we end this episode, thank you very much. Remember, please like, share, and to subscribe. Let's keep this community growing. Let's keep going, guys. Thank you very much for all the support you have given us so far. To my co-hosts, Jock and Dara. Jock, I hate you this week, but I'll love you next week.
Ray, I'm not the most hated. Get him.
Unless you beat the Lions, then you are hated because then you go further above us. Hopefully,
I'm sure
not.
I'll survive. I'm sure I'll survive.
But anyway, guys, thanks very much. Have a good one. Stay safe. My fellow champions, keep well.